Number 1. One shocking and true story from the Appalachian Mountains is the case of the Appalachian Trail Killer, or Robert Lee Smith. In 1981, Smith embarked on a killing spree along the Appalachian Trail that left 2 hikers dead and 1 severely injured. Smith, a drifter with a criminal history, attacked a group of hikers near the Duncannon, Pennsylvania area. He murdered Robert Mountford Jr. and Laura Ramsey with a knife, while a 3rd hiker, Susan Ramsey, managed to survive despite sustaining serious injuries. The shocking aspect of this case lies not only in the brutality of the attacks, but also in the fact that it occurred on a trail known for its serene and peaceful reputation. The Appalachian Trail, stretching over 2,000 miles, attracts hikers from around the world seeking a connection with nature. The idea that a violent crime could occur in such a seemingly tranquil environment shocked both the hiking community and the public at large. Randall Lee Smith was eventually captured and convicted for his crimes. The case highlighted the vulnerability of those who venture into the remote areas and the importance of safety precautions while enjoying the beauty of the Appalachian Mountains. Number 2. One of the infamous serial killers associated with the Appalachian region is Donald Leroy Evans. Evans was an American serial killer and drifter who operated in various states, including several in the Appalachian area. Evans, active during the late 1980s and early 1990s, targeted young girls and women. He committed a series of gruesome murders, and his crimes were spread across multiple states. His victims included individuals in West Virginia, North Carolina, and other areas within the Appalachian region. One of the most notable cases connected to Evans was the murder of 10-year-old Beatrice Roth in Raleigh County, West Virginia in 1991. Evans was arrested in 1991 and later confessed to the murders of several other women and girls. He often posed as a stranded motorist to lure his victims. Donald Leroy Evans received multiple life sentences for his crimes. He was not only a serial killer but also a fugitive, as he managed to escape custody at one point during his legal proceedings. Evans was eventually recaptured and remained in prison until his death. The case of Donald Leroy Evans serves as a grim reminder of the dark and unsettling crimes that have occurred within the Appalachian region, highlighting the importance of vigilance and community awareness in the face of such heinous acts. Number 3. One true story of a serial killer in Appalachia is that of Joseph Paul Franklin. Franklin, an American serial killer and white supremacist, was active during the late 1970s and early 1980s. He was responsible for a series of murders across the United States, and some of his crimes occurred in the Appalachian region. Franklin's killing spree was racially motivated, as he specifically targeted African Americans and interracial couples. His crimes were often random and driven by his extremist beliefs. In the Appalachian area, Franklin committed murders in states such as West Virginia and Ohio. One of his notable crimes in Appalachia was the sniper shooting at the Shoney's restaurant in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1980. Franklin randomly targeted a group of black patrons, killing 2 and injuring several others. This incident was part of his larger pattern of violence aimed at creating fear and promoting his racist ideology. Joseph Paul Franklin was eventually apprehended in 1980 and sentenced to death. He was executed by lethal injection in 2013. Franklin's case is a dark chapter in the history of serial killers in Appalachia, reflecting not only the brutality of his crimes, but also the racial hatred that motivated his actions. Number 4. One lesser-known serial killer in Appalachia is Eddie Mosley. Active in the late 1970s, Mosley was responsible for a series of murders in Ohio and West Virginia. While not as infamous as some other serial killers, his crimes had significant impact on the communities where he operated. Eddie Mosley's criminal activities primarily targeted women, and he gained notoriety for the brutality in his methods. His victims included several young women who he had abducted, assaulted, and ultimately killed. Mosley's crimes were marked by a pattern of violence and SA. Mosley's arrest in 1977 brought an end to his killing spree. He was convicted for multiple murders and received life sentences for his heinous crimes. Despite the severity of his actions, Mosley's case remains relatively lesser known compared to others more infamous. The story of Eddie Mosley serves as a reminder of the complex and dark history that can sometimes be overshadowed by more widely publicized cases. While not as notorious as some other serial killers, the impact of Mosley's crimes on the Appalachian communities affected by his actions is significant. Number 5. One example of a female serial killer in Appalachia is Nanny Doss, also known as the Giggling Granny and the Jolly Black Widow. Born in Blue Mountain, Alabama in 1905, Doss gained infamy for her string of murders in the mid-20th century. Nanny Doss was married 5 times and is believed to have killed 4 of her husbands, along with various family members, including her mother, sister, grandson, and mother-in-law. She committed her crimes between the 1920s and 1954. Doss was known for her seemingly sweet demeanor, which earned her the nickname Giggling Granny. Her motive for the murders was primarily financial gain through life insurance policies and inheritance. Nanny Doss used arsenic to poison her victims, often choosing them based on their potential financial contributions. Doss was eventually arrested in 1954 after the suspicious deaths of family members drew attention. In 1955, she pleaded guilty to the murder of her 5th husband, Samuel Doss, and received a life sentence in prison. She later confessed to her other crimes, and her total body count is estimated to be around 11, though the exact number remains uncertain. Nanny Doss spent the rest of her life in prison, passing away in 1965. Her case is one of the few instances of a female serial killer in the Appalachian region, leaving a dark mark on the history of crime in that area. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, sleep well.